Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to explain Unit E of third chapter, that is gravitational. As we all know that each particle of the universe is attracted by the other particle with the force of attraction. The force of attraction acting between the two masses is called gravitational force of attraction. For the magnitude of force, Sir Isaac Newton gave a law which is known as the Newton's law of gravitation. It says that if the two masses m1 and m2 are placed at r distance, then force of attraction acting between the two masses is directly proportional to the product of their masses, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. When we combine these two equations, then we have F proportional to m1 m2 by r square. Okay. When we remove this proportionality sign, then we have a constant G. This is called the gravitational constant. As we call it gravitational constant, it means its value remains constant in all over the universe. Its unit is, as we can write it, G is equals to F r square by m1 into m2. So its unit is unit of F, that is Newton, r square meter square, kilogram into kilogram means per kilogram square. This is the unit of gravitational constant. And the value of capital G is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. This value of G remains constant in all over the universe because it is called the gravitational constant, so it always remains same in all over the universe. Now we have to keep some points in our mind for this gravitational constant. First is the force of attraction between the two masses. As I explained in this law, that the force of attraction acting between the two masses, this F is the force of attraction. It means that it is always attractive. This force is always attractive, not repulsive. It is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the particle, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. And the most important point is it is significant between the heavenly bodies only, because the ordinary bodies are not at large distance. This law is applicable only for the heavenly bodies because they are placed at the larger distance. This is not applicable for the smaller magnitude of G. Okay. Now, importance of law of gravitation. Newton's, as I explained, the Newton's law of gravitation is always used for the heavenly bodies. It is used to explain the motion of the planets around the sun, the motion of the moon around the earth, and the motion of the freely falling body. It is always applicable for the heavenly bodies because they are placed at the larger distance. Next we have the force due to gravity. As I explained that F is equals to G m1 m2 by r square. So we can write it as F is equals to G. Suppose capital M is the mass of the earth and a particle which is placed on the earth with the force of attraction F is small m, and they are placed at the r distance. Capital R is the radius of the earth. Always the radius of the earth is represented by capital R, and capital M, it is the mass of the earth with the capital M. Okay. As we know that F is equals to ma by the Newton's second law of motion. In case of gravity, mg, g capital M small m by r square. These two m are cancelled out, so we have G is equals to capital G m by r square, where G is the gravitational constant, capital M is the mass of the earth, and r is the radius of the earth. Okay. So when we put the mass of the earth, that is 5.96 into 10 raised to power 24, the radius of the earth 6.37 into 10 raised to power 6, then we see that the gravity is approximately 9.8 meter per second square. it will be approximately 9.8 meter per second square, and the gravitational force F will be approximately 9.8 Newton. Okay. Next we have the acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is represented by the letter G. Force due to gravity is the force of attraction acting between the earth and the particle. As we all know that the earth attracts all the particle toward itself, and because of that, when the earth attracts the object toward itself, then it has change in velocity. Because of that, the acceleration works. So the acceleration produced by the earth is called the acceleration due to gravity, or we can say that the rate at which the velocity of the freely falling body increases or decreases is called the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Next we have the relation between small g and capital G. As I explained, small g is equals to capital G m by r square. This is the relation between small g and capital G. Now next and the most important topic is, when you are asked to distinguish between small g and capital G, then how can you distinguish? Small g is the gravity and capital G is the gravitational constant. Small g changes from place to place, but capital G remains constant in all over the universe. Next topic we have free fall. As we have studied in our previous chapter, the three equation of motion: v is equals to u plus at, s is equals to ut plus half at square, and v square is equals to u square plus 2as. In case of free fall, the initial velocity becomes 0, acceleration becomes gravity, and the distance becomes height. So we have the first equation: v is equals to gt, h is equals to half gt square, and third becomes v square is equals to 2gh. These are the three equations for the free fall. Okay, if we have some initial velocity, then we will write u. If the body is thrown vertically upward, then the acceleration becomes retardation. In place of positive sign, we will have the negative sign. Next topic we have mass and weight. What is mass? Mass is the quantity of matter contained in the body. Mass of the body is the quantity of matter contained in it. Okay, mass is the scalar quantity and it is represented by m. It is measured in kilogram. It is its unit. SI unit is kilogram. It is measured in kilogram. Okay. The mass is the scalar quantity represented by the letter capital M or the small m also. Okay. Next we have the weight. What is weight? Weight is the force of attraction, or weight is the force by which Earth attracts a body toward itself. It is represented by the letter W. Weight is the force of attraction by which Earth attracts the object toward itself. It means that it depends on gravity. W is equals to mg. The weight changes from place to place because it depends on gravity, and gravity also changes from place to place. It is the force of attraction, so its unit is Newton. Its SI unit is Newton, and the CGS unit is time. Okay. Now the comparison between mass and weight. The first difference is mass is the scalar quantity and it remains constant in all over the universe. But weight, it is the force of attraction by which the Earth attracts the object toward itself. It is the vector quantity. It requires direction. The unit of mass is kilogram and weight is Newton. Mass is measured by the beam balance and weight is measured by the spring balance. So these are the differences between the mass and weight. Now we have some other units, or the gravitational unit of force. We have the gravitational unit of force like kilogram force or gram force. When we write kilogram force, we can convert it in Newton by multiplying 9.8. gram force can be converted into dyne by multiplying 980. Okay, it means that 1 kilogram force is equals to 9.8 Newton and 1 gram force is equals to 980 dyne. Okay, these are the two other units or the gravitational unit of forces. Thank you.